So it is Friday before the October Rebellion starts, and I'm just here with my friend Lara, and we are painting a portable pyramid. And the idea is that you can wear it, if you want, you can wear it to travel across London. And then if you find a nice fountain or something that you want to be in, you can just go in the fountain and there's your pyramid in the fountain. And the flag is waving from the top.
Does it have a name, Dad?
I was calling it Messing About in the Styx, when it's with the boat as well.
Why?
Because the Styx is the river you cross when you die, and it's about burning earth.
Can we zoom in on her face?
Let me open it.
Let's see your face. So, I had a meeting yesterday with a few friends and the police in this windowless block, HQ block. And I had this, going in, there's this huge lift, like a lift in a hospital, stainless steel. And I had this horrible turn in the lift because I suddenly thought of the movie Brazil and the way everything could flip into a very dark and agonizing kind of torture type, disappearance type situation. But let's hope it doesn't. So it is Sunday night, the eve of the rebellion, and I keep thinking of the Duchess of Richmond's ball on the eve of Waterloo. And we are just going to a meeting of police liaison people in Hyde Park, just to talk about how we're going to liaise with the police. The police are being a bit temperamental, I would say.
So it's like the morning before a huge journey because there's so much activity happening in this kitchen.
It reminds me of when we're about to set off for Coventry.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. And everyone's sort of running around and you're like, oh, someone's in the bathroom. I can't get in the bathroom.
No,
We have to
and
leave.
everyone's packing their bags and like.
Should we demonstrate the bag that we've just packed? This is our guitar case. Oh. Ta-da! And I've worked very hard on my incognito outfit, only to walk in. I thought this didn't look like an activist outfit.
All quiet in this iconic landmark of central London, Trafalgar Square. And behind me is the fountain. Lovely, except it needs a pyramid and a boat. There is a sign saying no entry on the central bit, but there's no sign saying no boats, and there's no sign saying no black pyramids in the outer bit. So I think I'm okay and good to go. So it's beginning to hot up here. There is a block across the way into the Mall through Admiralty Arch. Nothing else yet on Trafalgar Square, but an air of great excitement and anticipation. Helicopter flying overhead, Lambeth Bridge. Looks like Lambeth Bridge, the police are not happy about, judging by that helicopter. So Savannah is locked under the truck that's just behind me. I think Laser might be in there too. And Blue is on top of that scaff tower. So I think I brought them up well. So I'm here in Trafalgar Square with Savannah. We've taken the square, it's amazing. And the police are busy guarding a kitchen sink, and off they go with it. They're very concerned about our kitchen sink, so they're taking that away. So I think the intention on the part of the police is to use the kitchen sink as a roadblock. So the police have a couple of climbers up the back, and I think they're preparing to arrest them and bring them down.
Right, if I can get you to mind your backs, please. We've got a vehicle coming through. Guys, can I get you to mind your backs? Thank you.
What is it? She's not doing anything. She's saying...
Have we got a spot?
And I just had to stop because I'm in the Mall. There are tents in the middle of the Mall, which is beautiful. And I'm looking all the way down to Buckingham Palace, past this encampment of tents. Tuesday morning, I was woken maybe around 5, having gone to bed about maybe 2:30 or something, by police calling from Dagenham, saying they had Blue there. Would I come and be a responsible adult? She'd been refusing to disclose her identity or her age, and so they were treating her as an adult, but they now realised that she wasn't. And meanwhile, yesterday, well, it was an amazing day. Lots of incredible sights. I was only at Marble Arch, and I've visited briefly St James's Square. Not Marble Arch, Trafalgar Square. It all goes in a well. And it was just amazing. So I think may have lost one or two in the night. I'm not actually up to date. And so I'm going to go and also see what's going on. So I'm on the tube and on the way to Spring Blue from Dagenham and Barking Police Station, where she's still being held.
The next station is Baker Street. Change for the Bakerloo, Jubilee and Metropolitan lines. Exit for Madame Tussauds.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
She sounded a bit subdued.
The front doors will not open at the next station. Please use other doors.
But basically okay.
Cleopatra was here.
What do you think?
Cleopatra.
Really brilliant. Brilliant. Did she see you? Yeah. Oh, great. So I'm here. Blue is wandering around, sort of coming down from the kind of slight horror of it. Savannah's here. How's it going?
It's quite emotional. I thought Blue was still in, but she was going to be in for full sort of 48 hours and take her straight to court. And then Mum said, no, she's home, but she doesn't want to speak and she's having a really hard time or whatever. Or I saw your message to Mum. And then suddenly she disappeared. Someone said, look who it is, and I turned around, it was Blue. And then everyone erupted into happy birthday.
Yeah.
And I said, make a wish, and Blue said, I wish that I never have to be in a cell for 36 hours again. 26 hours, whatever it was.
Definitely not.
Okay, so I think everyone's going to feel better soon. But the opening line of Blue's statement was, today is my 17th birthday, I've spent it in a cell. So I'm feeling completely shattered. I just came to have a bite of breakfast. And this morning I've been in the court with Laser, who's charged with attacking the Brazilian embassy with red paint symbolising blood and gluing himself to the door.
Hello. Oh, this is part of
So I'm just having a cup of tea with my friends Chloe and Susanna. I've had the news that my daughters have chained themselves to a bathtub outside in the Strand, so I will go down and see that they're okay. Meanwhile, the police are giving us a bit of a hard time. They're trying to sort of interfere with our rubbish clearance and having toilets and all that kind of stuff. Just really trying to make it hard to operate. And they're also being difficult about the state opening of Parliament and a marathon that's happening this weekend. And we're very keen to facilitate the state opening of Parliament and the marathon, there's no problem. But the police are sort of being a bit sulky and not wanting to negotiate. Because I think they're trying to back us into a situation where we can be portrayed as hindering democracy or something like that. Anyway, I think I'm going to go home now. I've left Savannah and Blue chained in their bathtubs. And it's a really lovely atmosphere, but I'm just a bit shattered, so I'm going to have a good night's sleep. And I hope the pyramid and the boat will finally make it to Trafalgar Square tomorrow. All being well.
I don't know about you guys, but I have a couple of things to say about that. Let me tell you what is unacceptable. What is unacceptable is that despite the fact that we've closed off this road to traffic, and the air is notably cleaner than usual here, 9,000 Londoners are dying every year from air pollution.
Anyway, I don't know what I'll be doing later, but I'm aware that I have a
Be careful, mate. What you're doing is wrong the way you keep doing, mate. Don't back to do that, bud. Sorry, love. Excuse me, don't touch me, mate.
I think you're going to have to put him down very gently. You don't want to be in any legal trouble.
Everyone calm, everyone calm.
Okay, that's not allowed. Yeah? I am able to.
Okay, so if you can get out yourself, and then we can just go out without
Okay.
Yeah?
No idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, is that alright?
I think that sounds like a good deal. Are you happy with
So
that?
I'll take yours.
Yeah?
I'll
Yeah, you
take
happy with
one
that?
off so you don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah?
You take my off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
We're all good. No one needs to get stressed. We're all good. Now?
Oh, I love it. So, you say welcome ashore to Great Britain.
Welcome ashore to Great Britain. Come on.
Oh, it's very nice to be here, everyone.
Be careful.
So, it's Thursday night, Trafalgar Square, and looking good. There's a bit of an air of chaos. Tomorrow I was supposed to be going with Serena to visit Roger in Wormwood Scrubs, but Serena herself has been arrested. So unless they let her out again, it looks like it's just me.
So they pushed us off Whitehall, they pushed us off Westminster Bridge, they pushed us off Lambeth Bridge. They pushed us out St James's Park. But has anyone here got some super glue?
Just had a call from Savannah, and they've let her out of her cell. And she says she doesn't feel traumatized, so that's really good news. And good for her to stand up for what she believes in. It's just amazing. With people like that around, there's hope. So, Trafalgar Square, the beginning of the Rebel Writers event, starting any minute. Very lovely atmosphere, and we're still holding the square. We've lost one or two roads. Society has to change in a very big way, and there's an amazing machine for doing that, and it's called a novel. And so that's why writers are really needed to solve this problem. We just had the writers' readings. One of them really depressed me, not because it was talking about climate change in a positive way, but in a kind of moral denial way. Not in it's accepting climate change is happening, but it was somehow not facing the reality of how we have to respond to it. So I came away. I had enough. Some of them were incredible, though. Some of them were really beautiful. And I've just come to find my portable pyramid and my boat, because they've got stranded here because I've lost my trolley. And my pyramid's just disappeared. It's a bit strange. I might wander around more and maybe I'll find it. So I'm looking for the pyramid. I've heard it's actually been spotted somewhere, and it's being used as a door. So I've met some people who think they've spotted it possibly.
Let me find a picture.
Where did you think it was?
In this. I just organised that green tent, so if you show me.
I saw it sort of yesterday or the day before, leaning against the railing over here.
And it's set off from there. It's obviously gone under its own steam and left. It's left there because I just went there and it's not there.
Can you give the thermic one to Larch in the morning?
So now I'm here with Danny, and I was just asking him whether he'd seen the pyramid. So I showed him a picture of it. So now we're going to see whether he's seen it.
I can confirm I have not seen the pyramid.
Well, that's fairly straightforward. You could even say it's blunt. So, the hunt for the pyramid continues. So the tower is being replenished. It's under siege, but it's being replenished. Yes, hooray! Food is being thrown in over the heads of the besieging army. So I'm saying that Susanna's saying I should ask the police to rummage through that pile of rubbish for me, looking for my pyramid. I'm saying the police often interpret that kind of request as a wind-up, saying, will you rubbish through that pile of garbage for my pyramid? And wind-ups of the police often end in arrest.
I would ask them.
So I'm reluctant to ask them, because I'd rather be arrested for being inside my pyramid than for looking for it. But it folds up. It folds up in flat packs.
I haven't seen anything like that. I'll have a quick look. We've been on this side all evening, so
yeah.
If there's another sort of rubbish area on that side, I don't know.
There's nothing over there. It's not an entirely happy ending. I'm going to give up and accept that I'm probably not going to find the pyramid. But perhaps I can build another, bigger one.
Yeah, make it bigger so it'll be easier to find it. What do you think? And then maybe as big as, so big that it can cover Nelson's column. Yeah?
I like that idea. Most amazing thing has just happened. Susanna and me were looking for somewhere to sit. We came round the corner and look what we found. It's just incredible. Such good news. Such a thrilling moment. Such a happy ending to this little trial that I've had to be. And also we can use it as a prototype for Susanna's pyramid, which is going to cover that column.
What does that symbolise?
Right, okay.
Has now got quite out of hand and is going off on its own, and it's causing great excitement and some slight hostility as well. But it is actually, I think, extremely beautiful. Slightly sinister, but extremely beautiful. And it's causing great excitement. What do you think about the pyramid?
It's so cool.
What do you think about it?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's cool. Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you have any feelings about it?
No.
None? None whatsoever? What are your feelings about the pyramid?
I think it portrays a very interesting message.
Thank you. That's really good. Someone is coming out of the pyramid.
I'm a pyramid.
Hello? Hello there. I found it. How are you? How are you? You okay?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I found it. So thank you for helping me look for it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good I found it.
Oh, it's you, sir.
It's me who was looking for the Black Pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you guess?
Oh. Oh, hello, sir.
Yeah, so thank you for helping me look for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Gotta give it a thumbs up. It's very good energy charge. I feel like, oh my gosh. Did I tell you that I've time traveled from the future world? Please, did you hear?
Wow.
In your pyramid?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Mesmerizing. Emeralda. Hey, hey. Where are you going with that tent? Come back again. Come back. The idiots have landed. Where's the reverse gear? Woo! Yeah. How did you find your way out? He found his way out eventually.
Would you like a go?
No.
No? You sure?
I'm claustrophobic. More close than phobic. Hey, come out of there, man. He's been in there. There's a policeman in there. He's counting. Whoever thought of that is scarily genius. I think Andy Warhol's corpse is in there.
Rocks.
It's
pyramid.
Okay.
Arcos pyramid.
And the pyramid is in the fountain! The first step of the solution is here! But the pyramid is in the fountain. And this means that solutions have begun.
Do you want to film for a bit? I want to go join the dance party.
We don't want you in the fountain!
Pyramid out of fountain. Pyramid out of fountain. Pyramid out of fountain. Fold that pyramid. Fold that pyramid. Run with pyramid. Run with pyramid. Run with pyramid. Fantastic. Thank you.
What just happened?
What just happened? The pyramid and the fountain just happened, which we've been working towards. Actually, all my life I've been working towards the pyramid and the fountain. And the boating in the fountain I've definitely been working towards all my life.
What does the pyramid represent?
The pyramid represents a black pyramid, and the boat represents a black boat. Have you seen the boat?
No.
Can you see the boat? The boat has become someone's roof.
Multi-purpose boat.
Yeah.
Did you see the pond at the beginning of the week?
Which was the pond?
It was a blue pond.
Not another pond.
Did
Yeah.
you see the pond in April? That's the
I
real
saw the documentary.
Did you? Brilliant. Did you like it?
It was really good.
So now I'm going to take that camera. Don't stop it. I want to ask you what you thought about what you just saw. Is that okay? So Dan, what did you feel about the what you just saw?
I thought it was revolutionary and radical, and I think we should stop causing disruption to people's lives, and we should just put more pyramids and fountains.
Yeah, why not? Why don't we have By 2025, we'll have a black pyramid.
In every fountain.
In every single fountain, yeah. Black pyramids in fountains. After the ball was over, after the dancers had gone, many the heart was broken, many an ended song. So what I'm just trying to say is, I think it's time to go home and go to bed. So, I'm just having a bath. And a squirrel has come to join me and is preening on the windowsill. He's just hopped out of the window. And I have 2 colonies of frogs living in my house. I have some slugs living in my kitchen. And I did have a fox living on my roof, but he seems to have moved. And I'm just wondering, what am I doing right? So I'm just on the bus, heading for a meeting, just to figure out a more sort of strategic approach to our relationship with the police. I think that's needed. I'm feeling shattered. So it's before dawn on Monday, on the second Monday of the rebellion, the October Rebellion. Today I'm going to talk on a small radio program about a couple of things and look at how we strand fossil fuel assets and divert capital away from fossil fuel projects with some people that we're getting together, because I feel that's a very crucial part of making the landing into the non-fossil fuel world as soft as it can be. And it needs to be as soft as it can be, because we don't want people to starve, which is what will happen if the landing is hard. I can't remember whether I talked about my visit to Roger in Wormwood Scrubs. It was lovely, so lovely to see him, and he was really pleased to see me and Serena. And the whole process was quite interesting. Very, very bureaucratic way of getting registered to be able to go and see him, with lots of steps which one could easily get wrong. And you queued up and entered your details and gave your fingerprint and had your photograph taken and put everything you had into a locker. You're not allowed coats, credit cards, keys. Everything had to go into the locker. The only thing you were allowed, I saw someone being allowed to take their Oyster card with them into the prison. And there was a notice which really amused me, which said you only have to wear, you're not allowed in wearing 2 pairs of trousers. And I was thinking that was just completely hilarious, because who would be wearing 2 pairs of trousers? Until I looked down and suddenly saw I was wearing 2 pairs of trousers, because I was wearing my rain trousers. So I took off my second pair of trousers and put them in my locker. We then went outside, having given away everything except our very basic clothes. And incidentally, any clothes with a hole or a tear or a rip, you just get turned away. And so before I came, I was desperately hunting around my house for clothes without a hole or a tear or a rip. And all I could find was a very smart blue suit and tie and shirt. So everyone in the prison thought I was a lawyer, and they couldn't believe I was actually a social visitor. We then went and waited outside another door in the outside by the main curtain wall of the prison. And it was raining, and we'd given away everything, including umbrellas and coats. So we had to all stand in a row in the rain without any covering. And we were then let in and went through a kind of airport-type process of being scanned and searched and having our identity checked. And then into an airlock. It was like a sort of enormous lift with lots and lots of people in it. And the outside door was closed before the inside door was opened. then went up a couple of flights of stairs to this enormous cafeteria, it was a bit like a motorway service station. And at each table was a prisoner in a grey tracksuit with a gilet jaune, a yellow vest. And we saw Roger immediately, and he saw us, and his face lit up, which was really lovely. He was desperate for crisps and orange juice, so Serena went to get some crisps and orange juice, and he devoured the crisps and drank the orange juice, because he said the food was fine, but it was just really boring. So we had a couple of hours with Roger. It was just really lovely, actually, very relaxed. Roger's been thinking a lot about strategy, really, and methodology. He's put on weight. He's looking really well. He's got good colour. And he's managed to negotiate that the person in his cell who likes soap operas watches them with subtitles. So that's his great triumph of the last few days. So I'm early for my meeting. So I just thought I'd stop by the Bank of England to check out how it's all going. And actually, there's a really good feeling here. The police are behaving much more like they used to behave. Everyone seems happy. And a friend of mine said she thought it was because we didn't have structures, and therefore they knew we weren't planning to stay for a long time. And maybe that means it's worth sometimes going easy on the structures. Maybe that makes everyone happier. It's a thought. So I'm here for my meeting on the steps of St. Paul's, but all I can see is a lot of people in a die-in. The police have declared all assemblies in support of XR unlawful until the 19th of October. I think, for the whole of London, I think that's a sign of desperation. So the question is how XR reacts. But in a strange way, it's a good sign because it means we really are getting under their skin. But it's quite extreme, and it may be unlawful under the Human Rights Act and the European Convention of Human Rights. And I'm sure some really good people are working on that. So it's a bit shocking, but it is not all bad in a strange way. And I've been invited to meet an extremely senior person in the British government setup. I'm rather torn because I was hoping to go and find my portable pyramid and boat. And it's a bit of a tug of war between those two options. And it may fall through, but I think the fact that it's even a possibility means we've been heard. And that's extremely encouraging. And if we've been heard, the next step is to figure out what we do about the terrifying situation we're in. It's all happening, basically. There's a dilemma at the moment within XR, which is whether to escalate into the tube system or not. And the big majority of opinion is not to, but some people feel it's really important. I've got a lovely Hare Krishna meal, because I was famished, and an incredible sight, given that since last Monday the police have been trying to get us out of Trafalgar Square. I don't think they're succeeding somehow. And the big news today is the violence that happened tragically at Canning Town, and so then I had a political meeting discussing that. That was really interesting. I'm very glad I was there. And what happened was people wanted to do an action in Canning Town by closing down the tubes, and almost everyone in the movement was against that, but the people went ahead nevertheless, because we're an autonomous movement and we can make our own decisions. And it went wrong, and someone got pulled off a train and they kicked back when they were being pulled off the train and so on, as far as I could tell. So we really need to think about what went wrong. In my view, it's partly that actions should be disruptive, creative, but also targeting the root of the problem rather than symptoms. And that last thing maybe wasn't satisfied by the Canning Town action, but it's possible that it's easy to disrupt the tube network, and it's possible that easiness has to be exploited. I don't know. It's a hard one. But also there's a problem of governance within XR that we have to really figure out how we take decisions. That's fascinating. And now I'm just heading down to Soho for a meeting of elders. And maybe I'm going to be an elder, who knows? Can't quite tell. Maybe I already am. So I've just accidentally stumbled on the critical mass bike riders with some very beautiful iridescent colour display by the mounted police, my motorcycle mounted police as well. So I was heading for Trafalgar Square, but I think I might actually join the critical mass people because it's kind of irresistible. Couldn't resist filming that lovely fountain. We know what it needs. And then in the background, an amazing gathering of Extinction Rebellion people. And then our normal audience, but looking rather relaxed.
Allowing yourself to drop down through the body.
So it's Sunday, second Sunday of the rebellion. It's all been fairly quiet, for me at least. But I've got the police liaison team coming for lunch. So that's really exciting. And it's also exciting that it's made me tidy up my kitchen. Ready?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. So
Liaison.
So I'm just going off for a meeting with the police to debrief about the last rebellion and talk about strategic issues, really, about how we relate to them. Transparency, whether that's working for us, if they then go and try and preemptively stop us doing anything. And lost property, where is my black pyramid? Things like that. And every day after and before rebellion, I seem to cycle through this immense arch. And the lady on top of the arch, strangely, was my Uncle Michael's landlady. So I'm just here in the lobby of the police station with Paolo and Gabriel. And I've just heard some very interesting news about both the Black Pyramid and the boat. So it's over to Paolo, who may be just going to fill us in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's a pretty vague memory. It's going back to one evening, we haven't done the timeline yet, in Trafalgar Square, when, well, it was the evening on which it was cleared by the police following a decision that they were going to clear everything. And basically Trafalgar Square was divided into two halves. There was one half which was under Lady Bronze, and there was the other half which was under a Gentleman Bronze. I'm afraid that we've been interrupted.
We will carry on afterwards. So it's interesting. There's so many different things happening that it's very hard to make sense of them all. And today, I think it's today, the courts have ruled that the police blanket Section 14 order banning all Extinction Rebellion protests was unlawful, I think I'm right in saying. So that's just disappeared in puff of smoke, and many, many arrests, I heard a figure of 400, have just sort of evaporated. So this is an action called the Air We Breathe. Basically it's a roadblock, and there's a sign saying air pollution kills 25 Londoners each day. Feels like it's going back to the original Stop Killing Londoners at Marble Arch, which is where I first joined in January 2018. So police are just arresting the protesters under Section 22A of the Road Traffic Act. I'm here on Gometra with Savannah and Blue, and we're just putting together a film of the Black Pyramid in the fountain. And I was telling them the story about how I looked in vain for my Black Pyramid all over London for several months after the October Rebellion. And then, incredibly, I mentioned to my friend Kat, I mentioned to everyone I saw, asked them whether they'd seen the Black Pyramid. But when I mentioned it to my friend Kat, she said, yes. And I just couldn't believe it. I realised that my Black Pyramid may have survived all the sort of disorder and chaos and sadness and triumph and misery of the October Rebellion. That Black Pyramid may have just come through it. Almost like time itself, and survived. And Kat said, is this it? And she showed me this photograph of these skeletons lying around the Black Pyramid in some forgotten Extinction Rebellion warehouse, somewhere on the fringes of the capital, our great capital. It is still there. So I am going to go down to London at some point when I can to rescue the Black Pyramid. After the ball is over, after the break of morn, after the dancers leaving, after the stars are gone, many a heart is aching, if you could read them all, many the hopes that have vanished after